Hey guys, Brendan here at Team Scooter's Food with Justin in the background recording this dank video.
Hey guys, what's up?
Just ignore the rain, it's sort of thundering outside. Yeah. But other than that, we're gonna get this video going. What do I see here, Justin?
This, my good sir, is what we like to call the game of Bean Boozled. It's a random chance game where you either get a good or bad jelly bean. There's one good and one bad for each color. In this case scenario, you push this thing up, you push it back down, and a random jelly bean pops up here, and you have to eat it. What we're doing with this is, this week, Team Scoops for Food, our entire team, myself, Brendan, Brian, and Sapphire are building 60 card decks where each card in the format, since Yu-Gi-Oh! Became a card game in the 90s, early 90s, that's when I heard that it came out. We're playing, each card is at least worth at least that one. Monster Reborns, Heavy Storms, all kinds of cards, all at one. On top of that, we each have a choice card. It's like our prize card in the deck. We have 5 of that. It can be a spell, it can be a trap, it can be a monster. Basically, the whole goal of the game is you're trying to draw into those monsters or that spell or that trap, because when you reveal it in your hand to your opponent, you can make one of them eat a jelly bean, depending upon which one you want to make eat it. So it's just going to be a fun game. We're going to bring it to you hopefully sometime this week. It'll probably be a little bit longer of a video, so bear with that and understand that if it's a lengthy video, that's why. It'll probably take some time to go through the jelly beans and to go through playing a 60 card deck with 4 people. So we're just going to have some fun with it. If it's too long, we'll cut it down and split it maybe into 2 videos or try to. But we hope you guys will enjoy that. And without further ado, we'll move these to the side and we will discuss why we're here today. And that is why, Brendan?
We're here to show you my Lightsworn deck that I've been playing for, let's say we came to, 3 years? 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
About probably 3, a little bit more.
This deck has gone through so many changes, it's not even funny. But it still revolves around JDs.
Which are, I'm pretty sure, Brendan's favorite card in the game if you ask him.
It is,
so,
besides my blue eyes.
Yeah, blue eyes are out there.
Especially my 2 precious blue eyes.
Yeah.
So let's start this off by slapping down 3 Luminas. I find this staple for this deck. You guys may disagree or you can agree. It's just up to you. But for me, this is mostly the main power of the deck besides the JDs. Because this gives you all your XYZs, your Synchros, your Lightsworns in and out of your graveyards. And you can discard whatever you need to get your other Lightsworns out of the graveyard. Plus, you also get to mill a couple cards from your deck to your grave at the end. Next, we're going into 2 Raidens. I find that 2 Raidens is pretty nice. 3 was, a little bit too much since sometimes you go through all your cards too quickly. And just having this card, I should say, at 3 or 1 wasn't really worth it. And with this is your level 4 tuner. You can go to 7s, your 8s, just whatever you need it to. Plus, when you, let's say, get it off a Luminous effect or you just normal summon it, you get the discard 2 from your deck to the graveyard. And depending of how many Lightsworns from those 2 cards goes into the graveyard, he gains, I think it was 300? 200.
200 attack. Yeah.
My mistake, 200. And that's till the end of your turn, and then at the end of your turn, he mills another 2. That's if you keep him on the field to the end. Next card is going to be 3 Lilas, mostly for the name, back row popping, and also 3 cards at the end. Next would be a Felice for monster popping, the name, and plus the 3 mills, instead of discards, mills from the main deck to the graveyard. A Wolf, if you can get him into the graveyard quick enough. It's an early 2100 beat stick, considering you can only special summon him from the graveyard, I think. Don't quote me on that. 2 Honest.
Oh god, so gross.
I love my Honests.
It's a good card. It's still really staple on all light decks.
Yep. It is the most trollsiest card. One of them, anyways, in this deck. Because I've actually won 2 battles against Justin with just this one card.
Yeah.
It made him cry.
It made me cry really hard. I like Honest. Honestly, I think it's a staple card in any light dark deck. It's also a staple card just in general for decks that maybe don't have 3000 beat stick monsters like my Cosmos or like Blue Eyes do. So it's a really good card to save your monsters and keep them on the board. So it's good at 2. I think it's a great tech-in.
I see what he did there. Honestly, I like it. Enough with the shitty puns.
Speaking of shitty puns, Necrogynos. That's what we call them. They're really called Necrogynos. What do these guys do, Brendan?
So basically, if you have these guys in the graveyard, you can banish them and negate 1 attack. Just 1.
Also, they're really good for BLS, if he ran BLS, which he doesn't.
Maybe with the new Twilight Sworns, I actually might try to run him in this.
He's a decent tech-in.
Okay, now I'm going into some of the cards that are just mostly in here for names and other reasons. Like a Chocolate Magician.
Spicy tech. So spicy.
This, if you really need a card in your hand, she's just there for 1 single draw. Because you discard a spellcaster from your hand. And so let's say if you need to get a Lightsworn in there for that 1 JD. Boom, there you go. Moving on. Don't really know how to pronounce this name. I want to go with Celestia.
Yeah, Celestia.
This thing is amazing when you really need her because you mill 3 and depending, I think it was 1 Lightsworn, I think.
Yeah, 1 Lightsworn.
1 Lightsworn. Out of this 3, you get to destroy 2 of your opponent's cards. So there you go. I'm a Minerva, the Lightsworn Maiden, mostly for the name.
And she's a tuner. She's not a level 3 tuner.
But she's mostly in the graveyard.
Yeah. Most of them are.
Most of them are. Like Garroth here. I really don't use him. Mostly in the graveyard. Genis, if you really need to do that extra damage, plus you get you regain your life points as well as you do damage. 2 Performage Trick Clowns for those spicy level 4 XYZs. Or if you need just a guessing route. Same thing with this lovely, fantastic Blackwing. Same thing.
Everyone loves that Zephyros the Elite. Another Trollsy card in this deck that you wouldn't expect, but it's in here.
It gores, because sometimes you draw bad hands, and if you're lucky with that bad hand, you have a gores. 1 Light Ray Diablos to play before you get out your sack card to get rid of those pesky back rows, because all you have to do is banish 1 light monster, and boom! You get to choose whether, let's say, if he has a very, very bad set card just to sit there and scare you, you can either put it on top
like
or
Solemn
bottom.
Strike that can get rid of all of your JDs.
Or let's say if you, for some god-awful reason, you have a Foolish Burial set down as your only card, and I can just choose to, oh, you need that card that's on top of your deck. Nope, you're just getting another Foolish Burial. And then the main monster of the deck are these fantastic JDs. Look at them.
This deck's gonna be crazy with a Punishment Dragon and Judgment Dragon.
Oh, yes.
In it.
These things, I'll show you guys just here in a little bit what this deck is going to become with my build. It's not going to be very pretty, because bad enough, all you have to do is pay 1,000 life points
To blow up Bill.
just to blow up the field. So let's say if you have another one in your hand, boom, you already have a 3,000 beat stick.
Then you have 6,000.
Board is already cleared, and you drop another one. There's been a couple times when I got all 3 of them, and everybody didn't like it. It was a bad day for them. But here, I'll keep 2 on the side, and I'll show you what I'm going to be using these 2 for later. Okay, so I run 2 charge of the Light Brigades.
Usually a target Raiden, right?
Raiden or Luminous.
Yeah.
Mostly go with
Get
those.
your play started.
If you can get these in the hand, most of the time they're engraved. Along with these 2 solar recharges. 2 is perfect for this deck, as you can see with some of the cards. Because most of the time, when you really need these in the most,
They're in the grave.
they're in the grave. Same thing with these. Monster Reincarnations to get your lovely beat sticks back. 1 Foolish Burial, mostly for either Wolf or Felice. And 2 Galaxy Cyclones.
Because they're still useful in the grave.
They're very useful. It's like having 4 MSTs, even though you can only really use them to pop set cards only once.
Yeah.
But let's say if they have a nasty face-up card.
Like a Cosmo Town, which is my field spell card that I use that makes all my plays for me. You can easily pop that from grave by banishing it.
Yep. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, he has all these lovely cards. What is he going to use for back row? Nothing really. You really don't have a back row. I wish you luck. Safe zone.
And it's German.
It's a German.
But I feel like, Brennan, you use this card more to target your opponent's monsters than you do your own.
Yeah, so if I have a freaking cleared field here, and you only have 1 boss monster out, I'm just going to safe zone it, because then at that point you can't attack me directly with it.
Yes, but I found an interesting ruling, which I think we forgot. The one time you safe zone one of my big ships, it can't be targeted. The monsters can't be targeted, safe zone targets, so technically you can't get rid of my big ship unless you blow up.
What big ship?
Like my destroyers, my forerunners, my eclipsers, my dark planets. Anything that has 2,800 attack or more in my deck can't be targeted by spell trap cards or monster effects. They can be destroyed by non-targeting effects, and JD doesn't target, so JD can blow up fields still normally. But Safe Zone is a good card, especially for, like, for example, the one time I think of using Safe Zone is like for Lee Joke. Lee Joke is a boss monster that I use in my Battling Boxers. He can detach, keep himself from being destroyed. If you pop Safe Zone, yeah, Lee Joke can technically stay around a little bit longer, but it forces him to detach faster, which means you can get rid of him faster, so... It's a good card. It's a spicy tech-in for traps. It's not something that many people see come in.
No, but that's what I use it for. I want Quaking Mirror Force to have all your opponent's lovely monsters go face down when they try to attack you. And what's good about this is that they can't flip back up. They gotta stay like that. And 2 Needlebug Nests to basically, if you can use them, just mill 10 cards.
5 with each.
Yes. 10 total, 5 with each. Alright, now we're going into the extra deck. I'm going to hold off on this card, because some people are like, oh my god, you got that card? How dare. Anyways, so, a lovely Silent Orna Arc, just to get rid of
the pesky special summon.
Pesky special summons. Same thing with a Castile.
Shuffles problem cards back in the deck. 2
Mm-hmm.
staple cards for almost all power level rank 4 decks. Which just isn't necessarily a level 4 deck, but it works with level 4, so... Those are
2
nasty.
Michaels. The light arc Lightsworn, I think. I can't
The arch, like...
Arch, same thing. Same thing. 1 wasn't enough. 2 is perfect. 3 was a little bit too much. It's not really necessary, considering if you already have most of your Lightsworns in your grave, there's no point of trying to force all of them back in with 3. It's basically, if you guys don't know what this card does, you can pay 1,000 to banish 1 card. You mill 3 at the end of the turn.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 3.
Can never get the numbers right, even till this day. I still have to look at them. 3 at the end of the turn, and let's say if it's destroyed by battle or by card effects.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I really don't use that effect that often, because it's mostly out for a long period of time, and sometimes I don't think of it. Like some of the plays I can do, I just don't think of, but you guys might. You get the shuffle in some of your Lightsworns back into your deck, and you get 300 life points based off of it. Now, when you do that, I always keep 4 different Lightsworns with different names to the side. Then you shuffle all the different ones back in. So if you don't go through all your JDs into the graveyard or whatever, you still have those names. So if you draw into one. 1 black rose to
Board wipe.
board wipe like a JD, even though it wasted a
Even
monster.
though it destroys itself.
A crimson blader to really haven't found much of a crimson or to use him just yet, because most of the time all my friends are a-holes.
Get rid of him.
Either get rid of him or there's not really a use for him at that point in time. But you guys might have better luck. A Stardust, I always run Stardust and everything.
So pretty. I want to Ghost Row one so bad, guys.
It's not necessary.
But it's pretty, Brendan.
Okay, so for, let's see, the last 4 main cards before I get into the special one, you guys might be a little bit confused. So that's why I kept off these 2 JDs to the side. I run Neo Galaxy Tachyon and his little big brother, the Photon one. And you might think, well, why would you do that? Most of the time you can't really use his effects, especially if you don't have what was it? What's his name?
The Galaxy Eyes
Photon Dragon.
like
Yep.
the level 8, like that, like the blue eyes boss, yeah.
But I don't use these guys for their effects. So let's say, like I said earlier, you have your 2 JDs out on the field. You overlay, say, into a Tachyon. I like using Tachyon a lot, so I'm mostly going to Tachyon. And now, this is where it gets interesting. I can overlay, since it has a Galaxy Eyes in the name.
That's so gross.
It is a Dark Matter Dragon.
And remember, the board is completely wiped at this point because of the JDs. So,
There's only a couple cards that can stop this.
like something from hand.
Something from hand or
something from grave, but that's it.
But at that time, if you already did enough damage, so you detached 1. Say, detach 1 JD. This thing makes 2 attacks within the same
And he's
turn.
at 4,000.
That's 4,000.
So that's game.
That's
Straight
game.
game. So he's an instant win if your opponent has nothing.
And now, so it gets even more spicy when the new support comes out with the lovely Punishment Dragon. So let's say if you have another one here, right? So you have maybe a JD and a Punishment Dragon and this, and a JD and JD with this one.
Yeah, so we're gonna pretend that this is a JD right now and not a.
Yep.
Or we'll pretend that this is a JD because you need your 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just learned something. I could use the Stardust if I could. Aha.
Yeah, you could.
So I could do it already. So you have your Tachyon and your Prime Photon.
and you double or you triple overlay both of them, and you got 2 Dark Matter, and then you can attack for 1,600, so you can kill your opponent twice.
1,600, Justin.
16,000.
16,000, my friend.
Derp, derpity, derp, derp, derp.
So let's say if the cards that your opponent has, let's say if they have Necrogarda, and they only have 1 in the graveyard there.
It's still a game.
It's still there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's just.
I mean, you'd have to really play like stall hard. Like you'd either need like a scrap iron scarecrow, a battle fader, something that ends the battle phase and keeps you alive for 1 turn. And
Just 1.
Yeah, you'd be praying for like a dark hole or like a Regeki to blow up your field. Otherwise, you'd lose. Like,
Yeah.
There's
no way.
If you get 1 of these on the field, it's still possible to win. But if you get 2 of them on the field, it's game over.
Because even if you block, if you're able to block 1 or 2 attacks
from just the 1,
just from 1, it's
just
still
from
ain't
another
that.
2.
There's still another 2 attacks, which is, or if you're at, let's say, the sad 3,999 health points and you block 3 of them, that's still game.
Yeah, still can.
There's not really a way to stop this.
Yeah. So, in other words, this is going to be even more sacky than it already is.
Mhm.
So, that is Brendan's big boss monster. And Brendan, you have one last card. So, why don't you talk about your last card and newest edition that your good friend Justin picked you up because he knew that you needed it.
I needed it very much. I've been always wanting this card ever since Brian showed me it. I haven't really got to use her that much.
You haven't used her at all yet.
No, I have not. I would love to. So, really, try not to quote me on the effects of this, but I think I got the gist of it down. It is Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn. Before you guys say anything, this is not the prize card.
No, the prize card's like $1,000.
No.
Honestly, guys, if we had $1,000, we'd be playing Zodiac top decks, and we'd be playing like the decks that would almost, like, if we learned how to play them, would almost guarantee us first locals and probably top 20, top 30 regionals, maybe even top 50, 100, and world championships.
Oh, no.
But this is the reprint.
Actually, the price now is like either $3,000 or $4,000 for this price.
$3,000 or $4,000 for a prize. Do you know they made a Dark Magician prize card? I just found out. Dark Magician Girl prize card. Ghost Rare. They might originally reprint it in a few months, which is really cool. But that card is going for more than this card is, and it's just a Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah.
But let's get into the effects of this beautiful card.
So this beautiful card is, you mill 3. I know that much. Sorry, I'm gonna have to really look at this. Like I said, I haven't got to really use her yet. Then draw. Okay, so so when you overlay for 2, right? 2 level 4s, you get the detached 1. You mill 3. Then depending of how many Lightsworn monsters you mill off her, you get the draw card.
So you can get a +3 if you get 3 Lightsworn cards.
Yes.
So it mills cards to the grave. It allows you to add cards to hand, so you're getting names faster in your hand and in your graveyard towards your JDs.
Yep.
So it really helps boost your deck like hardcore.
So let's say if you mill 3 Lightsworns with different names. I think that's how it is. Yeah. Yep, I'm right. Because some of the Lightsworns is kind of fancy if it's like one lights, like as the word.
So it counts Lightsworn cards like your charges and your. Oh no, it doesn't. No, because those don't have Lightsworn in their name.
No. So let's say I mill 3 Lightsworns.
Yeah.
Different name. Well, no, doesn't matter if they're different names as long as it has the word Lightsworn in it. And let's say when I draw the 3.
Yeah.
I get these lovely bad boys, right?
Oh.
And I already have Lightsworns in my hands, so that's even more drawing there.
So right there, it's more drawing, and it gives you 2 or 3 turns worth of Lightsworns in plays to make.
Mm-hmm.
So this card speeds up your deck hard. So we'll go ahead. The reprint cost me $20, which wasn't terrible. Brendan, if you think when you build the Twilight Sworns, if you can pick up another one of these, would you run 2 or 3 of her to boost your deck, like make it go faster?
I would have to experiment that.
Yeah. Because I feel like it could be good at 2. I feel like 3 of a claw, because when you go Twilight Sworns, you're going to have to split it between Light Sworns and Twilight Sworns.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have as many names to, mill, because Twilight Sworns are differently named than Light Sworns. So they won't count towards her effects. So, the real question is...
No. I think they still will.
Yeah.
Because they have Twi, then Lightsworn in it.
True. We'll have to look at that when we look into it. So, I was gonna say they could make another card that was like the Twilight Sworn version of this card, but I don't think they will, because I think they'll probably have her effect go in hand with both Twilight Sworns and Light Sworns.
Like, if you have your Evil Sworn... So, good example. So you have Twilight Sworns and Light Sworns, right?
Uh-huh.
And Evil Swarms.
Yeah, Evil Swarms.
And with some of their cards, if it has...
Swarm in it, or like, light in it.
Like Ish Swarms or something like that. So I'm thinking that
'Cause,
would still count because it has
Because that's how.
Lightsworn in it.
That's how. I forget what deck I used to play. The one where Evil Swarms. Evil Swarms and the other swarms. Ish Swarms or whatever.
Yeah.
Steel Swarms and Evil Swarms.
Yeah.
If there was an Ish Swarm card, you could use it for both of them.
So that's
they'll probably be like that. It'll probably be a combo.
So that's what I'm thinking is going to go with that. I plan on pre-ordering the box soon, so there will be a good video on that.
We're really excited. We're going to do a couple videos around the box set that Brendan picks up in the next month or two. So really, really looking forward to that. That was Brendan's Lightsworn deck. We hope you guys enjoyed that video. We're going to go get some other stuff done for the channel, but we want you guys to make sure that if you enjoyed, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment because we always appreciate interacting with you guys and, you know, whatever your comments are. Thanks, Thunder, for interrupting the video. Appreciate you.
No, that was the air conditioning.
Oh.
Air conditioning. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.